everyone, so today we're going to interpret distribution using dot plots and box plots. We are going to use socks to describe the distribution and also to use the calculator to graph a box plot. Get ready to unlock the power of math together. Let's dive right in. So remember, when you are describing distribution, you are using socks. Now, you are looking at the shape, so whether it's symmetric, skewed positively or skewed to the right, or skewed negatively or skewed left. You're looking to see if there are any outliers and where they are. When you're looking at center and spread, you also have to remember back to the shape of the distribution. So if the shape was symmetric, you're going to use the mean and the standard deviation to talk about center and spread. And if the distribution was skewed, you're going to use the median and the IQR. Now remember that the IQR was the Q3 value minus the Q1 value. Whenever you are describing a distribution using socks, you need to remember to always write in context of the problem. So make sure you also include units and see what you're actually getting the data about. So with this table, we are going to create a dot plot as well as describe using socks for the data that's given below. So the very first thing we want to do is let's just create our dot plot here. So we're going to make a line. We are writing what our data is about. So we're going to talk about it's the number of fish sold. And then you have to make sure that with the tick marks that you use, make sure that you are also labeling those numbers as well. So you can see that your smallest number is 2, biggest number is 12. So I might be able to count up by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 here. So let's go ahead and put our information. You've got 2, that's 1 dot, 3, 4, you have 1, 1, 2, 3 5s, 1, 2, looks like 2 for 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5 for 7, 1, 2, 4, 8, 2, 4, 9, and 10, 11, and 12 each have 1. So after you do the dot plot, you are going to need some data information using your calculator. So we're going to find some statistics. We're going to need things like the 5-number summary and the average. And we can also find our standard deviation. So let's go ahead and take out our calculators. So in your calculator, you're going to go to Stat, and you're going to go to Edit, and you're going to put all your data values in L1. Once you get all your data in, you're going to press Stat again, go to Calculate, and go to 1 var stat. With all your data in list 1, we're going to calculate, and we're going to go ahead and find all of our information. And if we scroll down, don't forget you can find your 5-number summary. Okay, so here's our 5-number summary. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use that to describe our distribution using socks. Now, the first thing is shape, so we want to talk about the distribution of fish sold. And remember that our dot plot looked about roughly symmetric. When we talk about outliers, because it was roughly symmetric, we didn't see any gaps from one part of the data to an outlier. So there are no outliers here, so they do not appear to be any outliers. Now, when we talk about the center, because this is symmetric, right? For the center, we are going to use the mean. So we're going to say the mean number of fish is, our mean was our x bar, which is 6.9 fish. For our spread, we are going to use the standard deviation. So that was the SX number right here. So we're going to say the standard deviation for the number of fish sold is about 2.6 fish. So now we're going to talk about box plots. Now, if you look at how we talk about negatively or positively or symmetric distributions here, when you look at a box plot, it is going to be very similar. So if you're negatively skewed, the sort of left whisker is longer than the right whisker. And if you're positively skewed or skewed to the right whisker is going to be a little longer. And then if you are symmetrical, the whiskers are about the same length. Now with your box plot components, again, we are looking at this box plot, or also called a box and whisker plot, and we're looking at quartiles, right? We're looking at quarters of our data. So we're going to have a minimum, a Q1, a median, a Q3, and a maximum. So the Q3 and Q1 is where we get that IQR from. And every sort of little piece of this box plot is going to represent quarters of our data. Here what we have is the prices of homes that were sold by a realtor, and in that home, you need to keep in mind that the home sale prices are listed in thousands of dollars. So what we're going to do is we're going to construct a box plot of these home sales. So we're going to show you how to do this in your calculator. Okay, so in your calculator, again, you're going to stat and you're going to edit. And what you're going to do in L1 is you're going to put all those same home prices in L1. So you have all your data first. Okay, so once you get all your data, what you're going to do is you're going to press second and you're going to press Y equals. That is stat plot. So we're going to click on number 1 so we can turn on the plot. So you're going to go to on. And then in type, you're going to choose the box plot. So we're going to choose this one right here. That looks like it's got a couple little dots after the box plot. So after you press enter to select the box plot, you're going to press zoom and you are going to press number 9, which represents zoom stat. And then when you click on zoom stat, what you're going to notice is that you have your box plot. You have a couple 3 dots that are on the left side. And then as you press trace, you can actually see the information that we wanted, like our 5 number summary. So you got your max, you got your Q1, Q3, you got your median, and then you also have a couple values here that seem to be sort of outliers compared to the rest of your data. So now we can make our box plot here. And we are talking about home sale prices. And remember, these are thousands of dollars. And you're going all the way from 95 to 184. So we can probably, let's say, count up by tens. Let's say this is 95. You could label every 5 or 10 here. Let's label every 10. This is 125. So looking at what we have, we can see that this is actually our Q1 data. That's the one part. So that was from our information from our calculator. As we press trace, that was 150. Our median is right here. So from that data, that was 165. Our Q3 from our data was 170. So here we can make our box. Our maximum from that data as we were tracing was 184, so just shy here of 185. And what you notice is that you actually had some of these boxes here. Those are your outliers. So these were these numbers that didn't really fit with the rest of your data. So that was the 95, that was the 110, and that was the 115. So when you look at your box plot and let's say you're unsure whether or not this is skewed or symmetric, what you're really doing is you're looking at the median and you're going all the way to the minimum. And then you're also comparing that with the median going to the maximum. So what you can see here is that this distribution is actually negatively skewed or skewed to the left. Now, as we describe the distribution of home prices, we're going to use SOX again. And when we look at our distribution of home prices, as we notice from our box plot, the distribution of home prices is negatively skewed. When we look at our outliers, there are 3 outliers. And what are those outliers? They were the 95, and remember this is 1,000, so 95,000. It was 110,000. And it was $115,000. Because we are looking at a distribution that is skewed, we're going to talk about the median home price. So we're going to use the median home price. And from our trace of our data, that median home price we saw was $165,000. Because the distribution was skewed, we're either going to use the IQR or talk about the middle 50% of the home prices when we're talking about spread. So you can say the middle 50% of home prices, you can say has an IQR or has a range, and you can actually subtract of $20,000, our Q3 minus our Q1 value. Thanks for learning with me today, unlocking the power of math one problem at a time. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future notifications on pre-calc videos. See you in the next lesson.